Welcome back, I'm Nerd Dad, and this is episode 29 of our Factorio playthrough, and last time we built lasers and chewed up all our battery supply apparently. But for fun, I think we should go have some fun with lasers. We've earned it. We've earned the ability to play with lasers. So let's go see what these things can do. Now the first thing you want to do when you have lasers is make sure you've got a decent power supply. If you're running weak and you're way up in here, you're going to brown out your system if you drop on lasers. So what we're going to do is we're going to show another way of attacking enemy bases. And we're going to do it kind of like this. We're going to say at any given time we're just going to drop one of these, and it's going to have 1, 2, 3 lasers on it. And we're going to call that a blueprint. Now this is kind of a weak mode. Sometimes I will actually drop these with maybe 5, 6 guns, a wall around it, all sorts of things, and let my robot kind of slam it down. And it's quite effective. I'm going to see if we can kind of sneak out here with just this little tiny thing and see if we can get away with it. So let's go see whether this is going to work. Now we're just going to tell our robots to throw that back in our backpack, please. So we're going to be playing with this a lot, just kind of jumping back and forth between here. Let's go find a little base to see if we can go play with these guys. So we've got one down to our south that's been nagging us for quite some time now. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in, just show him, he can either teach us who's boss or we'll teach him. One way or the other, somebody's going to find out what's going on. So you can see I can push this out quite a ways, and it's basically, because I got these long power lines, I can basically just put that down, and now I've got some defense built up, and I can just kind of walk this right forward and just kind of keep getting a feel for it. And as long as we keep that power within range of the other one, you basically got your little defensive line here. Now I say, well, I want these guns, but I'll just leave the power line there. There we go. I'm going to grab a little bit of wood too, why not? Okay, and now where's our base? It's down here somewhere. So there it is, just sniffing away down here. We always seem to do this in the dark, so why don't we just kind of get some light on this a little bit as well. So we'll just take this for a second, and we're going to trash that one real quick. And we'll just grab a new blueprint here and just say we would like this to include a light, please. Yes, please. We got enough lights for this. And then we'll just come down here at a bit of an angle and just walk it. And as soon as they see me, they're going to come out and get it. But now I'm just going to stay here, and I'm going to sit here and work on these. And you can see those lasers. These ones here are basically covering that one. We got a bit of problem here, not quite keeping up. Like I said, I usually drop a few more lasers. But if we look at our power is really struggling. It's kind of going back and forth, and that's the issue with lasers, is they really do suck up a lot of power. And especially when we're at night here, where we're running almost maximum. So you have to be careful in that we're really kind of pressuring this power supply, and I think we're actually maxing out the power. So every time it fires, it kind of takes it off, which is why typically I often wait for my lasers to get nukes. It's kind of something I will just sort of like, okay. Now we can actually play a little bit more with this. We can see all these, you can see these spitters down here. These lasers actually have a decent range on them. Oh, look at that big bug farm right beside us. And I don't really want them to attack me there, but they're going to. So we'll just help out a bit with the machine gun. I don't really want to lose it, just as long as my robots can repair, we're in good shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get this laser here just to pick off that. Is it close enough? Oh, you see we got the bug up for sure. Question is who's got the longer range at this point? He's firing. He's kind of got a decent little bit of range. But I think when we drop the next gun down, we're going to find out that we're in their range. It might be that we just haven't got the tech where it needs to go yet. Oh, well, speaking of which, laser turret speed, that's always great. What else we got in there? I think that's the one we're going to go for. Is it? No, it's turret damage. They're both great. We'll just grab this one for right now. Now you can see this laser's plucking away at him. And we can kind of get a couple of them up here. Just get them kind of snipping away at them. And we can kind of walk this in. Now we could do it again. We can just sit here and we can go, no, we're going to just do this with our big one right here. We're just going to grab this and just kind of drop down another one right here. And we just drop that in there and build it out. Now those spitters have got going, but we should be able to keep that repaired because we got our robots right here with their repair grids. And we can actually help out. We can have a little bit of fun here and just say, well, you know what? We're actually tired of looking at you. Get another bit of defense up here because they're going to keep firing away at that for all day if they can. Still not getting the fire off that I was hoping to. Well, then we say, well, you know what? That's it. We're going to drop a bunch in. We'll just let them go crazy. And there you go. So you can, it just depends on how much power you think you got. I mean, I was just kind of toying with them there, but it's really easy to just come in and drop a bunch of these and just kind of whack out. Now, that's a pretty small base, and like I said, I typically drop them with walls and everything else. But the nice thing is when we got these robots, cleanup's really nice. We just kind of come out and say, okay, we're done. Just kind of pick it all up. Thank you very much. And we'll just kind of pick that all back up in our bags. And we'll come up and we'll grab this one. Yeah, so fighting with lasers is pretty easy. I'm showing you sort of a little cheapy version of it, but they can be a lot of fun, and they're nice to have on your defense. They really do. Really do help a lot with the defense. But again, what I don't like is when you're being attacked a lot, you find your power dipping. Now, if you've got nuclear power and you've got lots of it, yeah, not a problem. At that point, you may as well just go crazy laser. But frankly, by then, I'm usually such a decent place with my ammo, etc., that I don't really worry about it too much. All right, I'm just kind of cleaning up a few more miners. I don't like having stuff just laying around. I like to be able to kind of visually see what I got. We've still got lots of copper here. And our copper line's doing okay. Considering we're feeding a good thick stream of copper up to those batteries, and I think we probably just take a quick look. Yep, that's just staying double solid, which is perfect. And as long as we're not having problems up there, like we don't have to run 2 lines of each, we'll just double check that in a second. And question, have we caught up on our, well, we can see that that's not the right one. I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the one. It's got quite a few robots in there still, but tells us we've got well over our 300 in the system for the logistical, so it definitely kept adding them in. It added them in. So what it'll do sometimes is there'll be some in the air and stuff, and it seems to kind of goof up on the count a little bit, or if I threw extra in, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're getting there. I mean, we could add more of these battery factories. I mean, we have the capacity to just keep adding to this and really getting a lot more batteries. I'm not too worried about it right now. I don't have plans on building massive laser defenses. I just wanted a few to play with, and we might use one for some defense later on once we get our nuke up and running. Okay, so we've played with lasers. We've built them. Let's take a look at what else we can build. Another thing I've been pondering a little bit is flamethrowers. I had mentioned at the beginning of this whole playthrough I was going to go for an achievement. Unfortunately, I had an issue where I joined another game and kind of accidentally achieved that. So we might just go and show what that would look like anyways. Just to have fun with some flamethrowers, because it is kind of fun. And the other thing I don't think I've ever done is there's combat robots, and I really haven't played with them. Now, I don't think that's the same thing as these guys. I think they're a bit different, so we gotta go looking at that a little bit. Let's go take a little peek right now. What do combat robots look like? Any of these guys here, combat robotics. Combat robotics. Do we have combat robotics? Maybe that is my defender robots. I think I've used one. I think in all the time I play it, I've used one, and I've heard they're fantastic too. It's another thing I don't usually use. There's our follower robot count, so we can, increase the number of robots can follow you at the same time. What does that do for us? Interesting. All right, just, we're learning stuff. We'll just keep it going. I'm a little bit curious because there's a few things like I said, I haven't done in the game. We're getting, we're kind of at a point where we really need to start thinking about these and doing these. And it's all pretty easy for us to accomplish. I'm not too worried about much of this at all. We just need to build the facilities for it. We've got lots of reds just kind of sitting here waiting. We can build the blues right here. We can bring their sulfuric down. So, we're not stressed for any of this. This is just, do we want to jump right to, getting rockets, or are we kind of playing around? And I kind of mentioned I wanted to play around with a few things this time. So why don't we just come up here really quickly and build ourselves one factory? And actually, it's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to need oil in, so I'm going to need a chemical plant, I'm pretty sure, for this. It would make logical sense. And let's go up here and just build a little temporary chemical plant right up in here. I was going to drop a laser. That's not going to cut it. All right, let's grab a chemical plant. Let's build it off the end of that pipe right there, kind of about here, and maybe off the end of there. And if we tell all this we want it to be flamethrowers, we're going to need to drop some steel in here, and I think we'll just do that manually because we don't want way too many of these. You can build yours whatever way you want. You can have all sorts of them, hundreds and hundreds of flamethrowers. Oh, Why are we graying out? Did we goof up our power again? It's kind of looking like we ran out of coal or something. So how much coal we got on us? We got enough to kickstart. I think we've run out of coal. Wish should have had a car. Can we build a car? Car on the run? Nope, no engines. Run, run, run. Well, good news is we're not too far, but yeah, I can almost guarantee we just ran out of coal. Well, we got lots of miners on us, and the question is, did we mine out all the coal? It's nice to see that train's doing a good job. We got one line in the middle that's pretty empty, but everything else is kind of full, so makes me curious. What makes me more curious is we seem to have still quite a bit of coal here, but we're probably just burning it too fast, so you know what probably happened is we kicked up those lasers and just really probably started to suck up all sorts of coal, trying to keep up. So, noting that to ourselves, I'll assume that was part of the problem. Come on, miners, get yourself up and running. They're not going to want to get going. Oh, just barely starting to kick over now. Wow, come on, you can do it. I need you guys to go a little bit faster than that, otherwise you're not going to be able to be self-sufficient. They're just going way too slow. You can see them just kind of sputtering there. So we'll come here and grab a bit more coal. Give me some more. We're greedy. This one's looking like it's empty, so we might as well grab it. And let's just see if we can get this side of the equation going here. Oh, it's starting to get fed. Let's feed this back bit here. Okay, I'll keep you guys fed, and we might be able to get this going back up to some sort of semblance of speed here. Come on. Gotta get those miners kicking over a little bit better than they are. This one's empty. Yes, it is, sir. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just come up here. And we'll just drop a couple of these guys side by side here. And kind of go like that. And just throw them a bit of power. And then it looks like we're really starting to get weak on our coal here. So we're going to have to start thinking about how we're going to get coal into here. And that's easy enough to do. We'll just start shipping some in. And we will go 1, 2. Oh, didn't we just pull that one out of there? Looks like there's a little bit of coal there. It was trying to mine something up. What do we got? Oh, it says, oh, it's pulling off, but it's under the track, so that's okay. I was kind of like, how's that pulling stuff? But we can see that we're still not kind of getting enough stuff. So unfortunately, we're going to have to kind of finish this off right with this, which I wasn't really wanting to do. And we're just going to put a power pole, and this is a good place for this one because we want to tell us don't go the other way. So I'm okay with that as well. All right. That's getting a little bit better. How's our power looking now? Yeah, we're struggling on the power front. We definitely are. Now, the good news is we do have the ability to kick up more solar power and put some more into other things. We can think about doing that, or we can just think about, nah, we kind of got lots of choices at this point. What are we going to do? Bring more coal in, burn heavily. Not going to think about it right at this second. I'll probably regret it. We'll probably have to go back and refeed it in a few minutes. But we will see. Are you empty? You're empty. You're empty. Man, you guys are all getting empty now. Empty. Empty vassals. Well, I mean, who would have thought when we started this would have been empty, eh? I mean, looked like there was a lot of stuff there, but there we go. We're using her up. Yeah, we got a couple here we can pull off of. We'll do this. Hey, we may as well just make this one there and just drop in another power line there. And there we go. Just kind of run that one. It's backlogged already, but yeah, it'll keep us going in a little bit. Okay. I think we were building flamethrowers. I think we have another little car down here we can grab as a little bit of temporary transportation. So let's grab that really quickly and get these flamethrowers. I think we actually need to build a flamethrower, so we may as well do that while we're taking a little drive. Amazing. You know, it's probably why I'm such a bad driver. I'm building, flamethrowers while I'm driving. You know, who needs to concentrate on the road? There's no other drivers. Okay, perch, and there we go. And what do we got for pipe? Well, we're going to want to pull this one off of here like that. We're going to want to pull this one off this end and, be interrupted. I swear. What do we got here? Let's just keep working on that. Let's play with that a little bit. Why not? Why not? And then we'll just do a bit of a zigzag here. This is a kind of a temporary. We're going to probably junk this in a bit anyways. Okay, the question is, do we have enough of this coming through? And I'm thinking that we're probably pushing it all through here. So instead of doing that for a little bit here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this line just to kind of force us to get some light petroleum in here, and that way we can feed this thing because it's kind of sparse at the moment. And we need a pipe there. There we go. And hopefully this will kick up. It's 2.4. It's coming. Needs to get up to 100, I think, before it'll actually start producing. So come on. And I think it needs 100 for each one. Is that the rule of thumb? It needs 50 of each, so it's not going to get going there until it gets 50. So it's pumping quite slowly. Might be backlogging some of this, so that's okay. Once it gets all caught up, we should be able to spit it out pretty quick. Okay, so we're going to just kind of ignore that for a second while it's doing that. We're trying to keep ourselves busy. The other thing I wanted to look at is how's our... We did want to come down here and put a radar dish down there, and I'm thinking maybe we want to kind of do that, and that'll kind of take our eyes off the kettle, so to say. Well, that's building us hopefully some flamethrower, and then we can take war to the trees. For all the times they've stood in front of my car, vengeance shall be ours. Okay, I thought those were bugs for a second. I'm like, what are bugs doing in the base? Yes, they're off doing whatever work it is that those robots must do. Oops, I just killed that telephone pole. Something will replace it, we hope. And drive into a bug base because I'm not paying attention to where I'm going. There we go. And, whoa! Why don't we have power? Let's go back. Did we just brown out again? Because that won't be good. Did I just cut the one power line that came to the whole thing? I actually did. That is fantastic. I just cut the power line that was for everything on this side. Who would have thought, eh? It was just a small power line. I mean, who would have thought this whole thing could have taken everything offline? That is not great. That's poor design. Anything I can drive in and break should not be a key component to my system. Wow. But we got our power back. Okay. Good thing we kind of looked. Yeah, that won't be the first or last time I do something that bad. And let's just pull in here and take a little look-see. And we're going to put a radar dish in here. I think that was part of the plan. How's this looking anyways? It's looking like it's backed right up, which is what we like to see on these. I love to see when these systems are a little bit backed up. Means that we're kind of, you know, we're going to have a nice backlog, so when the train comes in and it's saying, hey, give me stuff, it's not sitting there waiting. And we can pretty well put this anywhere in here. So there we go. And we've got a nice big chunk of radar going again. And how's our ammo looking? That's the other thing we want to check out while we're here. Well, we still got a nice 500 rounds sitting in reserve. All right. And we're not really pulling off here, which means that the ore up here should be good. Sometimes it helps to just kind of go and check out on your systems. Now, what are we seeing? We're seeing the middle ones full, but we definitely got a full line of ore still. It's definitely doing its thing. So, but the other thing that we talked about at one point was if we had this sort of backlog here, this car wouldn't be able to unload. So we're actually always waiting for this one car. I don't have a problem with that. As long as this is backlogged and as long as we're not pulling ore out of here, which we shouldn't be until we get to that point. You know, as soon as this line's dead, well, actually, we are going to pull out of there. Oh, we have a logic problem. Uh-oh. We need to actually change this a little bit. We're going to actually add a little bit more to our logic here. And our logic's going to look something like this. I made a bit of a faux pas. We're going to grab this, pull it to here, and we're going to pull it over here. We're going to do copy the instructions. Oops. We're going to copy the instructions for this to this. And what we've basically done is we've just said add those two counters together for that line. And let's get explosives. Okay. So if you recall, this line was basically saying, hey, don't put anything out if this is greater than 0. But the issue is that if that happens, then it feeds this. And again, this line doesn't get used up. So we want this line to be used before that line. So what we've done now is we've just thrown the logic off this line and said, you know what? We want you to use up all this stuff you've got in reserve now, which is going to be great. And before you start using this, because I was trying to keep this as sort of a reserve, so if you get a massive bug battle and maybe they wipe out part of your thing here, you still got reserves to pull off of, because I'm in no hurry to get rid of this. Now, if I was trying to mine this out because I needed the space, then I'm going to not do that, right? Easy. Okay, so there's a little bit of stuff. Now we've done a little bit more blah blah blah, and we hopefully will have some flamethrower stuff to go burn some trees to death. Yes, not to death. We will lightly have a roaring campfire and enjoy s'mores and sing Kumbaya. Yes, that's where we're going with this. Or not. Or we're just burning it all. Yes, one of the two. You pick which one is easier to make you sleep. Easier to make you... Oh, good God. Okay. We're not going to go back and do anything about it. I just missed that water pole. Alright. There are so many trees up there that deserve what we're about to do. Alright. We've got a bunch. And what we can do now is we did clip our petroleum line here. So we probably might want to reconnect that. That might be something we want to do. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going to leave this here just in case we decide we needed, some stress relief at some other point. Okay, so we're going to just change our weapon by hitting tab. We've got a flamethrower in front of us. And this bunch of trees here is, they've got this whole growth of forest up here. It would be nice if we could get this all burning. So we can pretend I'm going for the achievement still, but it should look something like this. I'll just get a nice little flame job going in there. Come over here, get a little bit more going. And hopefully it'll keep, spreading. Sometimes it'll stop spreading and you're like, well, why did it stop? Oh, not now. Not now. Can't you see I'm burning things? Actually, let's get nuclear power. Let's start thinking about that. It's going to take a while to get. Can't you see that I am working here? I have many things to burn. Yes. Many, many. Let's not stand too close to those trees or they're going to burn us. And we'll just keep kind of... It's kind of like we're doing a back burn here. We're just kind of like get rid of it. Now this won't get rid of all the trees. What it'll do is it'll burn most of them down, but there will leave some burned stumps for us to have to deal with. So there will be still some we're going to have to deal with in the end of this, but you can see I can spread it. I can actually shoot little short pieces. It's pretty well where you point the most here, right? But you can kind of go as far as the range will go. Now these flamethrowers, they're not my favorite for fighting bugs. I'll say that right off the go. They're kind of... Here, we'll go and give this little bug base here, and you'll see what I mean. You kind of got to think ahead a little bit and lay out basically a bit of defense, and they can run right through it. So depending on the bugs, you can see like right now I've got some flames there, and it'll take them out, but it's kind of not... It's not the best, and I can set these things on fire. The only reason I'm doing this is because I've got this great armor on. You can see I'm burning the bug base to the ground, which is kind of nice. It's kind of fun. But it's just not my favorite method. I just got this guy behind me. Stop. There we go. I just find that for what it costs to build it... Oh, look at that fire going now. I just don't find it's the most efficient method. It can be fun, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Going into a bug base and, laying it to waste with a flamethrower, there's something satisfying in it. I personally prefer exploding rockets. It's more my... it's my menu item of choice. All right, let's go take a look and see how this is looking. Well, a bit of pollution. We won't be getting any awards for our green, being green in our approach to this wonderful... Oh! We did a spiral. Can we dodge all the stuff? There we go. So you can see now we're kind of, burning this off. Now, one of the things that this is really great for is... yeah, we've kind of gone a little bit chaotic here. You can see now we got this little ore field. If you got an ore field in the middle, kind of sometimes just burning it off is a great way to go. Now we got a little bit here. Let's get rid of this. How much we got left? I don't know. That stuff in the way. There's little scattered. It's great if you can kind of get the bug bases, that are in the middle of the forest sometimes. They're like kind of buried in the edge. I'm not pretty sure I don't want to go after that bug base with the very limited amount of flame I have, but we could burn the edge of this forest and hope it goes up there and does some damage. But overall, you can see there's still a bunch of trees left. Oh, we've got a robot following me. We've got these bugs here that have decided that they're going to do whatever it is they're going to do. I don't know why he thinks he's going to get me. But yeah, basically that's it. So basically, if we come back and kind of zoom in now on our map, we can look and we can see, oh, there was a bug base in the middle of the forest, so that's kind of nice. We've kind of done some damage to it. I doubt we've caught the bug base on fire, but I was wondering why we had all these bugs kind of coming down here and all mad. Well, they're probably not too happy about our lack of fire insurance for their homes. So yeah, that's a thing. And we could probably do this side too. But yeah, that was pretty well what my plan had been for getting the achievement. Like I said, unfortunately, I picked that up somewhere else, so we didn't get to get it here. But that's okay. I've got another one I want to go after as well, including combat robots. Now, the one thing we don't want to do is come into our base with the flamethrower connected, because there's been many a time I've accidentally walked in and gone, oops, there goes my car. So we don't want to do that, which I almost did right there. But so I usually want to make sure you got the machine gun up and coming. Just a note to self. Same thing with rockets. Nothing worse than having an exploding rocket loaded and having a bug get inside your base and deciding you're going to shoot him with the machine gun. That can go wrong. The good news is if you do it to an oil tank, luckily it doesn't cause a massive explosion. Yes, I have... I will put in quotes, I have tried that. How about that? Accidentally tried that scenario. Yes. Anyways, I think we're going to call that an episode. We've had all sorts of fun burning down trees. We've got a few more things kind of built up. Just kind of touched around the edges a bit. Dealt with some power problems and a little bit of cleanup this time. Played with our lasers a bit. So this is more of a bit of a playing around with stuff episode. Next time, I think we might get serious and get back into getting those blue circuits up and running and start thinking a little bit about moving forward into our yellow science packs. But for right now, it's all going really well. I feel like we're making good progress each time. And that's episode 29. So thanks for joining me. Appreciate all likes, all comments, and please subscribe. I'm Nerd Dad, and I am out.